What is up, everyone? Welcome into the prediction. I'm Jonathan Messer, host of The Booby Show, and in this video, we're going to predict the winner of the Missouri-Bama game. So let's get into this game. First thing I want to start with is Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is balling. You know, he didn't look great against FSU. I don't contribute the loss to him because I don't think he played that bad, but he didn't play great. He's looked a lot better. Right? He leads the SEC in passing yards now. He looked great against Georgia. He looked great against Vandy. He looks like a veteran quarterback. I know he threw a pick early in that Vandy game, but he really rebounded and helped them rally to win that game. The issue for Bama here is not their passing game. You know, that in the passing game they got Ryan Williams, Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, Lazier Brooks. They got guys out there to catch the ball. Their issue is they do not have a running game right now. Jam Miller's got to get it going. And I mean, you can go back and look at the stats and see them cutting up against ULM and Wisconsin. Even though Wisconsin's a P4 team, they don't play at the level of a P4 team right now. Luke Fickell's got to get it figured out up there. But they need to be able to run the ball consistently against good teams because you can't just rely on Ty Simpson to get it done. They had a few third and longs against Georgia that they converted on, and that's because Georgia doesn't have a pass rush. Missouri does. Missouri has a pass rush that will get after you. Damon Wilson will get after you. We'll talk about Missouri's defense here a little later, but let's talk a little bit about this Bama offensive line. They got whooped against FSU, and that was the last time they got really beat, but they haven't been completely consistent. And like I said, they look good against Georgia, but Georgia doesn't have a pass rush. Now, Vandy has a little bit of a better pass rush, and they look pretty good against them. So what can they do against the pass rush against Missouri that is a true SEC pass rush? Their defense is elite, in my opinion. They're third in the passing in opponents' passing yards per game, so pretty much total defense they're third. Guys like Damani Jackson, Bray Hubbard in the backfield. You got LT Overton. Hopefully he's back from injury. Deontay Lawson. So you got guys. So they got a good defense here, and rushing defense, they're 70th, but I think a lot of that still comes from the FSU game. Nate Frazier and the Georgia Bulldogs had a little bit of success running against them, but they looked a lot better in the game against Vandy, and that's with dealing with a rushing quarterback. And Vandy has a pretty good running back tandem, so it was good to see them handle that well, but they haven't played against a guy like Ahmad Hardy yet. Staying a little bit on the defense for Bama, they gave up 0 points against Vandy in the second half, and they gave up 7 against Georgia. So the halftime corrections have been there. Let's move over to Missouri. And I want to start with Ahmad Hardy, guy I just mentioned. He might be the best running back in college football. He's already got 700-odd yards. He's so hard to tackle. He's got a low center of gravity. He runs behind his pads well. He's a really good running back. And Bo Pribula runs the ball really well, too, at quarterback. He's been one of the surprises. I say surprises in air quotes because a lot of us saw this coming. But he's been one of the surprises of the college football season. He's in the Heisman race for sure. And he's just a dynamic athlete. They got guys on the outside. Kevin Coleman is their main guy, but then they got Marquise Johnson as well. They're both good pass catchers. On the O-line, they've been good. But can they scale? Can they hold it together against a better competition? Now, when they played South Carolina, South Carolina's pass rush duo is ridiculous. Dylan Stewart and Brian Thomas is really good, and they only gave up 1 sack against them, but can they scale? Can they play to that same degree for 4 quarters against a team like Alabama? They do have the number 1 run defense and the number 8 pass defense, so on paper that defense is elite, but I do think there's plays to be made against that secondary. But up front, I don't think it's necessarily the same case. I already mentioned Damon Wilson coming off the edge. He's really good. But you got two D tackles in the interior there, Marquise Gracial and Chris McClellan. Big dudes, big SEC D linemen. And it's hard to run against them. They got so much speed coming from the outside and so much size on the inside. If they can get to Ty Simpson and they can stop up Jam Miller, there's 100% a path to win this game. This would not be an upset. So if Missouri wins this game, you're going to see a lot of articles and social media posts talking about upsets. This is not an upset if that happens. Missouri's a really good football team. Eli Drinkowitz is a great coach. The matchups that I don't like here for Missouri here necessarily are Alabama's pass catchers versus Missouri's secondary. Like I said, Missouri's secondary has been good, but they haven't played this type of competition, and I don't necessarily know if they can scale. But if Alabama's offensive line is not having a great game and they let Damon Wilson wreak havoc in the backfield and let Chris McClellan stall the offensive line and reset the offensive line, then it can get wicked for Alabama here. Some points that I like for Missouri here, a matchup, is obviously it's a gimme. Ahmad Hardy against any defense is a good matchup, but especially here against Alabama because they've struggled a little bit in the run game defensively. Now they've got it corrected a lot here recently, but Nate Fraser's is not Ahmad Hardy. So, they just haven't seen a back like this, but I think they're built for it. Let's get into some of the betting stuff here. Bama is favored -3.5. Their money line is -162, and Missouri's is only +136. I'm telling you guys, this is not an upset if Missouri wins. The over-under is 52.5. Okay. My prediction here is I think Bama wins. I think Bama does cover the spread because of how small the line is, but I think this is going to be a close game. I think this could be a game where Bama is just not necessarily able to put Missouri away. I think Bama has an issue here if they're playing off script and from behind, because trying to stop Ahmad Hardy from getting 4 yards every play is almost impossible, and Missouri's going to run the ball if they get a lead. The key here for Alabama is to stay ahead, stay on script, don't let Missouri build a lead, and honestly, Missouri's goal is just to get 2 first downs every drive. Because if you get 2 first downs every drive, you start to build your momentum. It makes it easier for your offensive coordinator to call plays. You don't have to punt from your own 15-yard line every drive. And it makes it easier and it relieves your defense to the point where we know, okay, this defense is really good, but we don't know how they're going to scale. Well, they can scale a lot easier if they're not on the field all the time. Like I said, I do have Bama winning. I have them covering a 3.5-point spread, but if the spread was 7.5, I don't know if I'd pick them to cover, but I'm rolling with the Tide.